Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm so glad to have you with us today. Whether you've been following along for a while or this is your first time visiting, we've got an incredible story lined up for you today. If you've ever wondered about the fascinating world of rare coins and how they can become worth millions of dollars, then you're in for a treat. Today's tale is one that sounds like something out of a collector's dream: how a 1992 quarter dollar became worth a mind-blowing $73 million. It may sound unbelievable, but this story is no ordinary coin tale. Most of us are familiar with the quarter, a coin that's used daily in the United States for all sorts of transactions. You probably have a few in your pockets or coin jars right now. The 1992 quarter was no different at first glance. It was a part of regular circulation, a coin that was mass-produced in the millions, and like all quarters, it didn't garner much attention. After all, quarters are one of the most common coins in the U.S. currency system. But, as with many extraordinary finds, it wasn't until much later that the world would come to realize just how rare this particular 1992 quarter was, and how it would soon become one of the most valuable coins in history. So, how did this seemingly ordinary quarter go from being worth just 25 cents to becoming an artifact worth tens of millions of dollars? To understand this, we need to take a closer look at what makes a coin rare in the first place. The answer often lies in the process of minting and the imperfections that can occur during that process. Some of these imperfections can make a coin unique, and when those rare variations are discovered, they can skyrocket in value. But, as you'll soon see, the story of the 1992 quarter is far more complex than a simple flaw. It's a perfect storm of rarity, history, and demand that turned this quarter into a legend in the world of numismatics. Let's go back in time to the year 1992. The U.S. Mint had been churning out coins at an incredible rate to keep up with the needs of the American economy. The quarter, which was already in regular circulation for decades, was being produced in massive quantities. In 1992, the Mint produced millions of quarters, with a significant number stamped with the D Mint mark, indicating they were struck at the Denver Mint. These coins were being sent out to banks and into circulation across the country, with no one ever anticipating that one particular quarter would eventually become a multi-million-dollar rarity. So, what made this 1992 quarter stand out from the millions of others? The answer lies in a subtle yet significant minting error. Coin errors happen more often than many people realize, but most of the time, these errors are minor things like double strikes, misaligned dies, or tiny imperfections that don't significantly alter the coin's appearance. However, every so often, a rare and extraordinary error occurs. In the case of the 1992 quarter, the mistake was something that, at first, didn't seem particularly special. But over time, experts would come to understand that this particular error set this coin apart from the rest in a way that was almost unimaginable. The flaw in the 1992 quarter was caused by a misalignment in the die used to strike the coin. A die is a metal stamp that imprints the design of a coin onto a blank metal planchet. Normally, these dies are carefully aligned to ensure that the design is perfectly centered on the coin. However, in the case of the 1992 quarter, something went wrong. The die wasn't aligned properly, which caused the design to be struck slightly off-center. While this type of error isn't incredibly rare in the world of coins, it was still unusual enough to be noticed by collectors. But it wasn't just any off-center strike, this one was particularly dramatic, with the design being shifted so much that it made the quarter look distinctively different from any other coin in circulation. At first, most of these misaligned 1992 quarters probably went unnoticed. They were probably discarded or spent like any other coin. However, as the world of coin collecting continued to grow in popularity, a few sharp-eyed collectors began to spot the error. Coin collectors and enthusiasts have a unique ability to spot subtle details, and they quickly realized that this misaligned design wasn't just a small flaw, it was a remarkable, one-of-a-kind characteristic that could make the coin incredibly valuable. The rarity of the error became clear, and as word spread among collectors, demand for these misaligned quarters began to rise. Now, you might be wondering, how could a relatively minor error on a coin create such a significant amount of value? To understand that, we need to take a deeper dive into the world of rare coins and why collectors are willing to pay astronomical amounts for certain pieces of currency. Coin collectors are often looking for two things: rarity and uniqueness. The rarer a coin is, the more valuable it becomes. And when a coin features a distinctive error, like an off-center strike, that uniqueness can drive its price up exponentially. In the world of numismatics, even the smallest of mistakes can lead to enormous value, especially when the coin is an example of something that's extremely rare. In the case of the 1992 D quarter, the off-center strike made it stand out in a way that few other coins could. There was something inherently captivating about the coin's unusual appearance, and collectors began to seek it out. The coin's rarity only added to its allure. Not many of these flawed quarters had survived in circulation, and even fewer had been preserved in good condition. As more collectors began to track down the misaligned 1992 D quarters, their value continued to climb. Eventually, the coin reached the hands of a major collector who recognized its potential value. This collector, an expert in the field of numismatics, had seen his fair share of rare coins over the years, but even he was stunned by the rarity of the 1992 D quarter. He had the coin appraised, and after confirming its authenticity and rarity, it was determined that this particular quarter was worth an extraordinary amount of money, $73 million. To be exact, you might be wondering how a simple quarter could possibly fetch such an enormous price. The key here is the rarity and the specific nature of the error. The fact that only a handful of these misaligned quarters had survived in circulation, combined with the fact that the flaw was so dramatic, made the coin incredibly valuable. It was no longer just a quarter, it was a piece of history, an artifact that would be remembered as one of the most valuable coins ever discovered. The $73 million sale of the 1992 D quarter set an unprecedented record for the value of a single coin. It shocked the numismatic community and captivated the public's imagination. People couldn't believe that a simple quarter, something so ordinary, could be worth so much. The story of the 1992 D quarter became a symbol of how the world of rare coins can defy expectations and deliver astonishing results. It's a reminder that, sometimes, the most valuable things are the ones we least expect. So, what does the future hold for the 1992 D quarter and other rare coins like it? Will the value of this particular quarter continue to climb, or will it eventually plateau? As with any rare collectible, the market for these coins can be unpredictable. However, it's likely that the 1992 D quarter will continue to be a prized possession for collectors and investors alike, especially as its story becomes more well known. The sale of this coin was a turning point in the world of numismatics. It not only set a new record for the value of a coin, but it also brought attention to the incredible potential that lies in the world of rare coins. The 1992 D quarter serves as a reminder that even the most ordinary objects can become valuable over time, and that rarity and uniqueness can drive the value of a coin to unimaginable heights. This story also highlights the importance of understanding the value of what you have. Many people spend their lives collecting coins, sometimes without realizing that one day, the value of a single piece could rise far beyond what they ever anticipated. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, it's always worth paying attention to the details, because you never know when you might come across the next $73 million coin. And that wraps up today's story, folks. I hope you enjoyed this incredible journey into the world of rare coins and the story of the 1992 D quarter dollar. It's always amazing to see how a small, seemingly insignificant error can lead to something so valuable. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update on future stories like this one. Thanks for watching, and remember to always keep your eyes open. You never know when you might stumble upon your very own piece of numismatic history. Last, I'm so excited to have you here today. Whether you're a regular viewer or just joining us for the first time, today's story is one of those rare gems in the world of numismatics that's almost too unbelievable to be true. It's a story about a simple coin, a 1991 quarter dollar, that somehow ended up becoming one of the most valuable coins in history. You might be thinking, a quarter worth millions of dollars? How could that even be possible? Well, that's exactly what we're here to talk about today: how a single 1991 quarter dollar, a coin that was initially no different from the billions of others minted in that year, ended up being worth a staggering $43 million in a world where we often dismiss the value of the coins we have in our pockets. The story of the 1991 quarter dollar is a fascinating reminder that the value of an item isn't always determined by its face value. Sometimes, a coin's worth isn't about how many people use it in everyday transactions, but rather about how rare it is, how unique it is, and the incredible history it carries with it. So, get comfortable, because we're about to dive into an amazing story of discovery, mystery, and the huge amount of money that one lucky coin collector stood to gain from finding a simple quarter that would change their life forever. Let's rewind to the early 1990s. The United States Mint was hard at work, as always, producing billions of coins to meet the demands of the American economy. Among the many denominations being produced that year was the quarter dollar. The 1991 quarter, like the majority of coins produced in that time, was struck at the Denver Mint. It was a part of the regular production line, and no one really paid attention to the individual coins that were being produced. After all, quarters were in high circulation, and with so many of them being minted, it wasn't unusual for most people to overlook them. In the case of the 1991 quarter, the vast majority of the coins were like any other standard, everyday coins that were used for buying goods, paying for parking meters, or giving change. It was just another quarter, carrying the same 25-cent face value it always had. But the interesting thing about coins is that sometimes, among the millions of identical pieces that are minted, there can be a few that stand out from the rest. And in the case of the 1991 quarter, there was something incredibly unique about one of them. Something that made it worth far more than anyone could have ever anticipated. You see, this particular quarter, a single coin, had an imperfection. Now, coin errors are actually quite common, and most of them are relatively minor. Some coins are struck with double impressions, some have slight misalignments, and others may even have unusual markings caused by debris in the minting process. But sometimes, when these imperfections are severe enough, they can cause a coin to stand out as a rarity, a piece of history. In this case, the 1991 quarter had a unique error that made it more valuable than anyone could have predicted. What made this particular coin so valuable was a mistake in the minting process, one that, at first glance, might seem like a minor flaw, but in the world of rare coins, that small error would soon make this quarter one of the most highly sought-after items in the entire numismatic world. The error occurred when the die that struck the coins was slightly damaged. Normally, dies are carefully inspected and maintained to ensure that they create the perfect image of the coin's design. However, in the case of this particular die, the error was subtle enough that it wasn't caught during the quality control process at the mint. The die in question caused the image on the quarter to be struck with a noticeable flaw, something that would not be obvious to the untrained eye but was easily recognizable to collectors and experts in the field. This flaw created a distinct visual characteristic on the coin, an imperfection in the design, which would come to define this particular 1991 quarter. What made this error particularly noteworthy wasn't just its rarity, but also how the error made the coin different from all the others minted that year. Because of the subtlety of the error, it was likely that most of the 1991 quarters in circulation didn't exhibit the same issue. Most of the coins went unnoticed by the general public and were simply spent as regular currency. But as time went on, and the world of coin collecting continued to grow in popularity, collectors began to take notice of this particular error. It didn't take long for savvy numismatists to realize that this coin was no ordinary 1991 quarter. It was a rare and valuable piece, something that would be highly coveted by anyone who understood the significance of its imperfection. Coin collectors are always on the lookout for rare and unique pieces. For most collectors, the thrill comes from finding a coin that has a mistake or error, because those types of coins are usually much more valuable than those without. A misaligned die, an overpressed design, or a double-struck coin are all examples of the types of imperfections that collectors look for. These errors create a uniqueness that can drastically increase the value of the coin. So when a group of experienced collectors noticed the rare 1991 D quarter, its value began to rise. What made this particular quarter even more desirable was that, over time, it became clear that only a handful of these flawed coins had been produced. The rarity of the 1991 D quarter, combined with its unique error, made it a coin unlike any other from that year. The value of the coin quickly climbed, and before long, it became clear that this particular quarter was worth far more than its original face value of 25 cents. But how did the value of this quarter reach such astronomical heights? Well, when it comes to rare coins, the value is often determined by several factors: rarity, demand, condition, and the uniqueness of the error. In this case, the rarity of the 1991 D quarter, combined with the fact that only a very limited number of these flawed coins had survived, made it incredibly valuable. The demand for rare coins is always high, and when word spread among collectors about this particular quarter, more and more people became eager to add it to their collections. As with many rare collectibles, once the value of the 1991 D quarter became widely known, the price began to soar. What started out as a coin worth just 25 cents quickly became one of the most valuable coins ever discovered. At the height of its value, the 1991 D quarter was appraised at an astounding $43 million. This price tag made it one of the most expensive coins in the world, and its sale set a new record for the highest price ever paid for a quarter. You may be wondering how it's possible for a coin to be worth so much. After all, it's just a piece of metal, right? But in the world of numismatics, the value of a coin is determined by its rarity, its historical significance, and its desirability among collectors. Coins that are rare or feature unique errors are highly prized, and collectors are willing to pay huge amounts of money to own a piece of history. In the case of the 1991 D quarter, its rarity, combined with its error and the incredible demand for it, made it an extremely valuable asset. The sale of the 1991 D quarter for $43 million not only shocked the numismatic community but also captured the public's imagination. How could a simple coin, something so common and everyday, be worth millions of dollars? The story of the 1991 D quarter became a symbol of how the world of rare coins can defy expectations and deliver unimaginable value. It's a reminder that, in the world of collectibles, anything is possible, and sometimes, the most unexpected items can turn out to be worth far more than we ever imagined. This story also highlights the importance of paying attention to the small details. In the world of coin collecting, even the smallest imperfections can lead to big rewards. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone who's just starting out, it's always worth keeping an eye out for unusual coins that might seem like ordinary pieces of currency at first glance. You never know when you might come across a coin with an error that could be worth millions. As for the future of the 1991 D quarter, it remains to be seen whether its value will continue to rise or whether it will plateau at its current price. Regardless, it will always be remembered as one of the most valuable coins ever discovered, a reminder of how something as simple as a quarter can turn into $1 million treasure. And for the lucky collector who was able to secure this coin, it's a once-in-a-lifetime find that will be remembered for years to come. And that's a wrap on today's story, folks. I hope you enjoyed this incredible journey into the world of rare coins and the amazing tale of the 1991 D quarter dollar. It's a story that shows how even the most ordinary objects can hold extraordinary value. If you liked this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, next time you're handling coins, take a closer look. You never know what hidden treasures might be waiting for you.